Hello viewers, my name is Dusman Okee, and I always like to certify it that Dusman Okee Jr. to avoid confusion, because most people think Dusman Okee is the father of Norbert Mao. That was our father, and I'm the younger brother of Norbert Mao. So that is the Dusman Okee Jr. I am the coordinator of Operation Joseph, one of the initiatives to revamp northern Uganda and reconstruct it economically after all those many years. And this is the initiative of General Salim Saleh, the chief coordinator of Operation Wealth Creation. Northern Uganda has had a lot of challenges, specifically Acholic region. And in this area, that is where we got an intervention in the names of a person called General Salim Saleh Akandwa, who is also a son of the Acholic, but that is a discussion for another day. Now, he came to look at the challenges, he came to look at the interventions, he looked at this, and over a long period of time, let us talk about over 15 years, he realized there is a need to revamp and economically go down and change the lives of the local person down on the ground. It took him a lot of thinking, it took him a lot of things. So in one of the areas of Taresita, he sat down and said, I am going to cultivate 10 acres of land in Acholic land, plant it with all the cereals, that is seeds ranging from maize, ranging from rice, all sort of things that grow simsim. And in this particular area, he launched what he called Operation Joseph, and launched it from nowhere. In January last year, we supplied a lot of seeds, and why we call it the 20 parts today, as we are here, we realized that there were lots of multiple effects that were achieved through the grain that General Salim Saleh. So that is why we said General Salim Saleh hit so many birds with one stone. So the birds are the economic, social, political, and security achievements that were done. Those were also the many economic benefits that came in. Those are the many birds, but they were hit with the supply of seeds. That is why we say he hit 20 actually birds with one stone. As you can see, we are now deep here. We told you be coming deep in Apaa. We are busy distributing the seeds, all sorts of seeds. Farmer groups are here. Everybody, we organize people in groups, and we are not segregative. As you can see, many people coming in. These are lines of cooperative members, designated farmers. What we basically do here is that we identify each and everyone by name. Each of these villagers know their people, and after that we make sure that everybody is highly organized. This system is also under the local leadership. That is where the LC1 chairman, help us to identify who is who. Luckily enough, we have secured enough maize. We are verifying through papers. As you can see, everybody here, you can hear the groups being called. Groups are being called so that we make sure that every member that is on this area is properly known. So when you see these lines of people, it's because we want to make sure that people are not smuggled in. People know their own kind of people. And these are the lines. After proper identification, we have like 3 checkpoints of identification. The lines of the leaders, and finally our leaders. Then we go, once somebody has been identified, we have 3 checkpoints. Nobody takes anything without proper verification. So that was point 1. We have point 2. As you can see, a counter check method also comes in here. And then we do another counter checking method. And this is another again of the counter checking methods. that has been going on here. These are the trucks still loaded. We do not offload any truck until we are sure that what we are looking for, we have supplied the last truck to the last dot. So this is how we are, and you basically see that the farmers that pick their maize, jar come on, ini cher kwede gang ti kwede ini anyogo panga bangeyo ini cher kwene kusama chawa ini cher gang okay afoya cher from Apaa. So that is one of the couriers that are helping. You can see the farmers that have already got to their area. Verification goes on that tree which you see to be on the ground, and so far everything is moving on well. We have close to 3-4 verifying points of each and everybody, what he takes and what comes in. So this is another store, a semi-store we keep there. So that is one of the verification points we have. For starters, people who don't know about General Salim Saleh, the name is so huge, so big that when you meet General Salim Saleh, you really wonder whether he's the man they've been talking about. Everybody in this country will tell you how I'm General Salim Saleh. Every robber that comes, he wants to rob you in some land, he said, I've been sent by General Salim Saleh. Every other person. So you may think General Salim Saleh is an amorphous kind of thing that cannot be reached. To the contrary, General Salim Saleh is a very normal, down-to-earth human being that is not even interested in any of those deals that you hear about. But God has gifted this general that even when he hears all these stories, sometimes he laughs them off because he doesn't have time to really reflect on that. Now, General Salim Saleh, for those who don't know or who you think, he does not stay in a big mansion that you may think that he has a 5-storied house. General Salim Saleh, for the life I've known him for over 15 years, prefers a 2-roomed house. He preferred a sitting room and his bedroom and another place where he will just beat his children here and there. That is his life. General Salim Saleh is a man who prefers to stay in the rural areas where you say the hard-to-reach area. That is where General Salim Saleh, for his own choices, he prefers to be there. General Salim Saleh, I have never him surrounded with a lot of pomp of lead cars, soldiers, and things like that. Actually, when you meet Saleh, you first wonder, is this the General Salim Saleh I've been really? So it is always a privilege for us who work with him. General Salim Saleh is a father. He's really an elder. He's at the elder's level. He's now an elder. But he has a lot of multifaceted faces. Now, you are going to meet General Salim Saleh, the ordinary Ugandan, but again, at a certain time, General Salim Saleh turns now into a full military general. That is when you know really, this is the man. So we like him. We like his daily devotion. He's a highly religious man. He prays every day. Every morning he wakes up with a prayer. And for us who interact with him, you can never start any meeting without saying a word of God. We are always led by the day's reading, which guides us through the day. And those of you who have hosted him or you host him, it is quite embarrassing for you people who eat food without prayer. General Saleh eats food with you. You serve here, General Saleh serves here. You take a glass of juice from here, you take from here. General Saleh washes his hands and uses his hands to eat. He's so ordinary. General Saleh is a highly religious person who believes in his own practice without going to talk about it publicly because it is him and his God. He believed in biblical Joseph. You know, the biblical Joseph is regarded as one of the world-class economists, one of the people who foresaw, who saw and dreamt and did all these things, and he told the Pharaoh, you know, in the Bible, Joseph had been sold by his brothers to Egypt as a discardant. They discarded him. They said, you be a slave there. But because of his strength and the word of God, he was able to raise to the Pharaoh's top level, call it state house. That is when he was able to interpret to the Pharaoh and say there is a famine coming. But to be able to avert this famine, let us plan ahead. So Operation Joseph is derived from the biblical Joseph who planned ahead. Why do we say that? General Saleh and of course the government, other government officials, to plan for what we call food security, economic resumption, to make sure that the world moves very well. I will come back to that point and tell you why it is Operation Joseph. Right now, the intervention of northern Uganda is an intervention that has now helped all the sister states in East Africa. When we come to the production, how much we have been produced and how much money was put there, you realize now the kind of vehicles that are going to the north because of one man's dream and risk that he did to make sure that the seeds are supplied. You will see cars from Kenya, cars from Rwanda, cars from Congo, all heavy trucks. You may think they're actually passing through, but they all end up in Acholic sub-region to offtake the seeds. So it means actually he has been able to avert the hunger that would be in the whole region. So that is the name Operation Joseph. Most of you don't know about Operation Dark Matters. I don't know. I am not a soldier, but although from the military background, because I was born in the barracks, I came from the ground, I grew from the barracks. The only toys we used to play with are guns. So that is basically where we get these things. So like similarly, General Saleh works into operation. Now, there has been a lot of celebrations that go in Kampala. Many people celebrate. And those of you could have seen a bit of 2 years before, there was celebration for his birthday. People would come dressed in all kind of things. But you know, the general, I think and I believe from what I've learned from him, he is not a man of pomp. He's not a man who pumps wine. He's not a man who celebrates. He's not a man of show. He doesn't want show. So because of those previous endeavors, he decided and said, you know, this year, my celebration of my birthday, I am going to celebrate it with something unique. I don't know how he did the research. He knows how he did it. He found that Kampala and all its suburbs, the greater Kampala region, was overflowing with sewage. Toilets were overflowing, the sewage, wherever it rained and things. He said, let me celebrate my birthday by giving back to the people. So all the coin he had for his celebration, he saved it, brought trucks and trucks of cesspool emptiers, employed the youth, these ghetto boys, and said, let's empty Kampala's toilets. Trucks rolled, emptied the toilets here and there. And that is how the Operation the Dark Matter came into. And that is how he celebrated his birthday. And he didn't talk much about it. I also learned about it when I would see the trucks, and I knew that is KCCA at its work and things like that, until I learned that actually it was genuine.
Today we have a program to empty the toilets in the slum area of Namongo. This is as a result of outcry for a long time from the community. Yes, KCCA is there. I'm also working, I'm a Lord Council at KCCA. We appealed to Operation Wealth Creation, and they responded very fast to come and rescue our people. So the trucks are here. We have got 2 trucks for Namongo. They have started emptying the toilets of schools and public toilets. We thank Operation Wealth Creation, and we hope it will continue.
And I asked him, why would you celebrate with the sewage? He looked at me and really laughed and said, it is what touches the local person that helps me a lot. He said, Dusman, when I tell you I am still in the bush with the local person, this is some of the things I talk about. Because anything that touches the local person for me touches me. I can do it myself. It makes me happy. It makes me really live for a purpose. And that is why I celebrated my birthday, and I'm very happy. Those of you who have been able to interact with the General Saleh, I think he's gifted. This one I'll call it really gifted. He's a great thinker. People who have been to him, the General has been able to educate himself with a lot of material. In fact, some of us who go there, sometimes if he tells you, I want to see you next week, Now you first peruse through the papers he has been giving you, because every day he says, read about this production. How did this thing grow about? Purely about agriculture. Now, when you go there, he will refer and say, I remember last month I sent you the other document. Did you read about it? Can you explain to people what it is? It's quite embarrassing to be Angazi to that. So General Saleh was able to transform him. But also, he becomes a focal point. One of the non-state actors that we see in the area. Very simple, but attracts, is a magnet. So because of that kind of thing, many people come to consult him, many people have to call them. But also he became our symbol of the region. Of course, without saying, General Saleh is a brother to the President of the Republic of Uganda, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. So where there is his brother, that is where he also is. So we believe that when he's there, in one way or another, there is a great attraction of many forces, developmental, social, and economical. Peace in northern Uganda was achieved through multifaceted areas, but of course with the efforts of great thinkers like General Salim Saleh. But when the guns went silent, does not mean people were peaceful in their hearts. Peace means food security. Food is one of the areas that causes, by the way, war in all areas. Deny people food and you will see trouble. So the first aspect to handle is food. That is why General Salim Saleh has been really engaged in peace and food security. Now, under Operation Joseph, I don't know how he controlled this. Once again, I will not tell you. He sat down, looked for equator seeds under a gentleman called Tony Okello, and said, Tony Okello, do you have this kind of amount of seeds? The other man said, who can doubt General Salim Saleh? If it gives you a call and tells you, I want this and this, you run. Probably you will not, because you will know that you're going to get stacks and money and something. Maybe a whole trailer of money is just waiting for you. So immediately after hearing that report, the team was already assembled, of which I'm part, Operation Joseph. And then we went and said, the general wants the seeds. Okello did not say how much of the seeds. This gentleman also did not have the money. He had to borrow here, and then got the seeds. I can tell you, trucks and trucks of seeds rolled in Amuru, trucks and trucks of seeds rolled in Acholic, trucks rolled in Kitukum, so many areas. But we are using two prototype districts of Amuru and the Agago. But the general wanted to see that if I intervene and put these seeds there, what can really happen in this area? Can really be production? So that is one of the bads that the general did. That is why I call this suicidal development, because he went straight away. Now, after the supply of the seeds, this is where the story becomes interesting. Equator seeds, Okello goes for a payment, and the general tells him, I am sorry to tell you, I don't even have a coin. But by the word of God, by the word of the grace, I'm going to look for 10.5 billion shillings. Okello, who had come, I think, with a bullion van expecting to get money, started sweating there, and then the man started sweating because he realized there was no money. One, the seeds were already distributed. In all these areas, seeds, people came, and one of the areas where we poured a lot of seeds is a place called Apaa. Now, for people who don't know what Apaa is one of those deserted areas deep that has caused a lot of fights between the Acholi and Madi. Apaa is the area where whoever goes for peace, you remember the other old women who grow naked and really show their behinds behind you. Nobody would like to see a 70-year-old woman showing the behinds to you. That is Toto Kisirani. Apaa is where everybody feared. Everybody went to Apaa, parliamentary groups, the prime ministers, all government technocrats went to Apaa, but they failed to achieve peace. Now, when General Salim Saleh brought seeds and poured them there, you can't believe everybody now focused on seeds. Everybody focused on planting. Everybody opened the gardens. So before we knew it, people were carrying pangas. People were carrying sticks. People were looking for one another. Forgot actually that one was a Madi, another one was Acholi. They all went to the garden to put the seeds back in the garden. Now, because the gardens demand a lot of activity, that means if you planted, you must weed, you must fight. Instead now of fighting one another, they started consulting, how do we get weed, chemicals to kill the weeds. So all the attention went there. By God's grace, the production was so big, trucks and trucks started coming, off-takers came in, the market was available, people got money. People forgot that at one time they fought. Everybody now went into the economic activity. And that is how everybody, actually I would say everybody forgot about fighting. They now concentrated on now harvesting and selling. Let me tell you, when we talk about chains of production, the chain has already been started by the general himself. When we planted these seeds, we did not have so many mills on the ground. We did not have people building. We did not have so many of these things. Before we knew it, I went back to Apaa just last week. But what I saw is unbelievable. People had opened up so many grinding mills. That is value addition. People had started construction. People in the whole of North started now building a Mabati house. Actually, I don't know, people in Kampala maybe, I don't know how they weigh wealth. Some people say, which car do you drive? Do you drive a V8, a V what? But for us now down there, people are weighing, which Mabati house do you now have? What have you built? You see the chain of production that has come. Now, when all this has shown and the peasant has seen that actually, through my own sweat, through my own field, I can get money and change. That is where now the mind change, set mind change has come in. Everybody now is changing automatically because of the dream of Joseph stroke General Salim Saleh, who saw it and threw at that. Commercialization. People now have seen that if I did plant only 10 acres and I got this amount of money, that means if I had planted 50, I would get many. People have now resorted to buying plows. People are collecting resources together, buying tractors. There were a lot of tractors that were sent in northern Uganda that were lying idle. People are recalling them. Can we get those tractors to come to Apaa? Can we put them to use? Can we put them to all this area? So in a short while, things have been reactivated by their own money. Now, 10 billion shillings, we sat down and calculated. As I speak now, has tabulated to over 250 billion shillings in the hands of very many different people. And we are talking about over 380 farmers directly who got. These seeds were distributed to farmer groups, individual commercial people, big farmers, and of course cooperative societies. All these were documented them. But right now, as I speak, the multiplier effect is big. In fact, it is very strange. You can hardly talk to anybody there. The only prayer is the weather people. Can you read for us? And also, there was environmental degradation. You remember the charcoal burning, there were people being killed, everybody in northern Uganda, the tree planting. The general shut it down at a go. People now went to planting. I was suggesting that I was talking to some of the people at the Ministry of Statistics and say, kindly, help us at the end of this year, go and carry out the poverty statistics of Acholic sub-region vis-a-vis what you had before. You will come and give us the accurate picture. But visibly, when you go, you can see that there has been really a big change. I remember Olanya, the MP for Kilak in Amuru. This is one of the people who used to fight, to fight the government. But when the seeds came in, Olanya said, these seeds are from the government, I serve the government, I get paid by the government, whereas I'm in the opposition, let the people. You can't believe it, these are some of the successes. So when you find some of the oppositions who came back in parliament, and this seed, by the way, was non-political. This seed was not for anybody. Originally, people thought this was a political seed where the president wants to get votes. The general shook everybody by first of all calling opposition. They are the first people who received Betty Awol, the woman MP for Gulu, Olanya, himself in Clark was the first person. These people you see who converted, they are called, all those ones were in the oppositions, but they are the people who got the seeds first. And some of them remained there. If you convert to NRM or not, it's your own discretion. It's like a religion. I can become a Christian tomorrow. I can be a Haji putting on, depending on what I've got. So people converted. So this seed was not political. At the end of it, it benefited everybody. Now, the greatest person who talks for General Salim Saleh is in the opposition. Now that is Olanya. Very, very militant guy when it comes to Apaa. But also remember, every politician was using Apaa as a fighting weapon. When we go, you're going to grab our land. When you go, you're going to do this. Nobody went to Apaa was really finished. Let me tell you something that you need to code and understand. Any politician in this country that used the name of General Salim Saleh and the traditional way, General Salim Saleh has come to grab our land, has come to fight us, has come. Nobody made it back. General Salim Saleh did not sponsor any particular politician that go. But because the people had seen, visually, tested the local voter, you know the voters are in the villages. They are not here in Kampala. In Kampala, there is a lot of English. People speak a lot of. The voter there, he has tested, he has seen. That is good. There is a lady, when we were doing off-taking, deep in Agago, in a place called Omia Pachwa. It is between Karamoja and what? I was in charge of that particular area of taking. A lady came with 3 sacks with his children on a bicycle. So when they reached there, we were able to pay them cash. She counted the money and said, "This is it." He said, "You mean if I had come with the 20 sacks, you would have paid me cash?" Said, "Even if you had..." Said, "Actually, the best you can do, you go back and organize fellow old women like you, so that we can send you a truck, a tipper truck. Put your five bags, make them 50, so that you bring to us, we shall buy them." Before we knew it, these people by themselves said, "Can't we form ourselves in a cooperative society?" We have just registered a big cooperative society called the Bethel Cooperative Society with over 450 members out of that initiative. So people are waking up to realize the truth and what is not the truth. Norbert Mao, one of the great architects, my friend, is one of the people in the opposition. But you know, we are lucky to have a man like Norbert Mao. He is what we call a sober Ugandan. We do not need to agree with one another to produce. Personally, I work with the General Salim Saleh, but we disagree. Yes, we disagree, and he said, "No, this one you are wrong. Dusman, get out of my face." I say, "I'm getting out of your face, General, but I think you are still wrong." So if I go to the field and he discovers what I was, because I am a researcher, I have done all these areas, I have masters in all these rural development. If I go to research on something I know, and you are seated there, me, I'm on the ground, that means I know what I'm talking about. But if you have been fed with information from other people who may want other things from you, and I come with the reality and you don't coordinate it, so General chases you away. You go back. But when he realizes the truth, he comes back and calls you. We will eat together. When you are eating together, the general, now that is when he becomes real. I think Caleb Akandwa now. Then he said, "This was very good. Would you mind this piece of chicken? We share it." So that is the level to which. So you can see that attachment. Now, Norbert Mao is one of those sober politicians that has been working with the government. He does not have a personal vendetta, from what I know, against anybody. But it is only the policies that he was working on. Even when we stand today, he says if we change this policy, we change this. And those of you who don't know, please, General Salim Saleh and Mao Norbert are like brothers. Even when he had not even become a minister, they would still consult each other. You touch Mao, you have touched General Saleh. You touch Saleh, you have touched Mao. But they will not ever tell each other that we have this strong attachment to each of you. Saleh can go and say, "This is Mao, no, but you find them together laughing and taking." And I'm talking over a period of 20 years. The same with Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. The same with the MK. And let me tell you, for the benefit of Ugandans, unity is when you don't know something, don't talk about it. Please watch your tongue. General Saleh always tells us to watch our tongue through James, one of the readings, the book of James in the Bible. Now, many people talk about wrong things and things that the government has never hated Mao. Mao has never hated the government. When he was sick here, I think like 10 years ago, I can't remember the period, the first person who was calling Mao was still that militant Mao fighting. It was the we shall fight you, we shall deal with you. But the first person who made the first phone call was Muhoozi, General Muhoozi Kainerugaba. He called me and said, I want you to do what it takes to make sure that Mao is fine. If you want a plane to fly Mao to any hospital, you let me know. And I want you to brief me 3 times in a day about Mao. That is when he was in ICU. Now you can see that kind of love. And we are talking about 15 years ago. So those who are crying and say, Mao has turned to NRM, Mao has done what? If NRM means General Saleh, if NRM means General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, if NRM means MK, then that means Mao has been in NRM for a long time. So that is why I'm telling Ugandans, let's always be calm. If you don't know anything about somebody, don't say anything. People have personal relationship. People have love for one another. When you reach in that region, tell Agri, you cannot believe what you see. When you see the commercialization, you see, when you are in Gulu, you get blinded. But when you come out of Gulu, that is when you realize that there is life outside Gulu. The commercial aspect of tele-agri, the machines being invested, the planting, everything that is coming shows you that there is a bright future for this. Somebody planned it. Tele-agri didn't come from heaven. Tele-agri, an architect of General Salim Saleh once again. And when you see tele-agri, he's trying to show us that anybody in Acholic can be tele-agri. You see, God has been, General Saleh is the one who normally tells us, Gulu. God is in Gulu, and God is in Gulu. Because when you see the flat land, the beauty of it, you don't need to suffer. It is naturally tailored for mechanization. When you go to Agago, where the general chose one of his, you may think that God brought a ruler and ruled the entire area to make it flat, purely for agri. The soil, the black soil here where you buy, I think a tipper truck is 100 or 200,000 to put in your flowers. For us in northern Uganda, it is free. So he's calling on commercialization. Right now, I will tell you, northern Uganda is already now the food basket for the whole region. It's not that it's going to become the food basket, but it is already. The mechanization that is up there, some of these products actually are not consumed locally. These are the products that go outside there and you find them. Now, Ugandans, you need to be very proud of your country. Unfortunately, some of the people that get our products rebrand when they reach in the port sale of Mombasa, they say this maize comes from where? But the actual sense, the maize comes from where? From Uganda. You remember when President Museveni visited one of those European countries, and one Musungu was telling him, there is fish which I eat, it tastes good, but I'm told it comes, before we discovered this was the fish that was coming from Uganda. So commercialization is the way to go. It is working. Right now, there is one of the biggest projects by Equator Impex that is going to be the holding capacity of almost 960,000 tons capacity. That means it is spanning production. Teddy Agri, look at it. Who is going to do? There is in Anaka another mechanization by some Indian. So when you go to northern Uganda, you can see. And I will help you to come to the question of land, where people thought that General Saleh wanted to grab land. In fact, he is telling people that I'm giving you seeds, use your own. Don't sell your land to be again a laborer on your own land. You can be the labor and effort and benefit. let's talk about, first of all, the Kapeka products. You know, we need to build an interrelated economy of the market. You can consume. I don't know, by the way, how many people have gone to Kapeka. I have visited Kapeka. I visited Kapeka. I did not fight in the NRA war. I was some young 12-year-old boy fighting there. But those who were there, that was the Bush war area. But now when you see the multiplier effect, the industry is set there. So if I can sell my maize and come and buy all these things you see assembled here, they're assembled in Kapeka, most of the areas. So we can see an interrelated market between what we have in Kapeka and everywhere. And for me, as an individual Ugandan, I'm extremely happy to see that this road from Masurita, from Kapeka is being worked on up to the main road. And widened. Whoever is working on that, I think you are doing a great job, because trucks will be able to take my products.
Gulu is at the center of four roads. You can go to Karamoja, you can go to Kitgum, and once you go to Karamoja, then you go to Kenya. Once you go to Kitgum, you go to Sudan, South Sudan. Then there is this one going to Juba, then this one going to Congo. It's a junction. Like this one going to Kitgum, it goes to Ethiopia, it goes to Djibouti. So you can easily connect from the Red Sea to Gulu to Kampala.
The general has always been very clear. He said, they asked him, why do you stay in Gulu? He said, by the way, Gulu is the greatest avenue with all roads that can lead to the sea, that can lead anywhere, that can lead into this. So if you open up the markets for the people, you don't need to bother them. Just cultivate, open up the market. Now, in philosophy, there is what we call the road users and the road finders, pathfinders. General Saleh belongs to the people who look for the route. He gets the path, and the other people will come and use the road without knowing. So when you see that route, the general is trying to open up areas, avenues for people to benefit. So that route all will absorb and consume all these chains of production. The person who is moving from here to the other side, even the roadside sellers. I don't need to benefit when, even if I'm in Nimule, even if I'm in part of Ethiopia, even if I'm in any of those areas there, and I'm selling something on the roadside, there is a bus moving. That means the economic activity. When we tell you that Uganda now academically, because I do both, I'm also in the academic world. When we tell you that Uganda is the anchor state, don't look only at military. Look at the economic power that Uganda. Here, the general, our president, said, I'm going to build a road from here to the Congo road. I think it goes up to Kinshasa, whatever. People ran out in arms to roads. But you did not see the greater market, the population, the potential you have in Congo to sell your products. The unity of Africa lies there. Do not look at only Dubai and America. You already have the market. He is widening, opening up the road of Congo. He's opening up the road in Egypt. He's opening up. He's opening the road for you. And let me bring it closer to you to understand it. There are many roads being worked on here. I stay in an area. You can see a lot of road work, which is, but do you know that that is the economic empowerment you have? If you have land, everybody who has had land and the road is passing near his land, automatically the land shoots beyond 100 and 200%. So you can see in Chirema, it is going to be another model. People have got their land titles. People are being spurred into production. You see, the general, wherever he goes around with the development.
Waliwo ekitundu bakiyita Kirema, General Saleh namuyamba nasasulira ab'ebibanja kati balina obwananyini. They are very doing very well in Kirema, near Chikandwa, near Semuto. That is the way to go. Compensate the landlord and the Bibanja owners have the ownership. But even before that, there is no owekakatakirizibwa okugoba owekibanja oba okumutemako ekibanja kye.
Now, here is currently in Kirema. That is in Kapeka, for those of you who don't know. He was in northern Uganda. I don't know how he relocated, because some of us who were there, we woke up in the morning to go and see General. We were with him in the evening. By the time we learned, he said, he's already taking breakfast in Kirema. He said, that is where he is. And now focused there. But remember where he left, development is going on. The people in the other area may not now need him to be there, because now he's finished with that area, it is on its own. You know what he means by fire and forget? Now, fire and forget is a military term after these missiles. Now you can see there is war going on in Iraq and Iran. People are firing from angles you can't even tell. A missile goes, but it already got its target. So the person who fires the missile stays and waits for impact. For fire and forget, the general has been firing. He has fired seeds, he has fired everything. The impact now is there economical. Now here, the Kremwe has come. It has started. People with their land titles, people need to copy a model from what it is. Those of you who have been lucky to go there, you can see the model. I have not moved a lot there, but I have admired the coffee. I'm not into coffee, but I'm a great consumer of coffee. But from what I have seen from the coffee, I think I'm also going to put up 10 acres. Yes, the heritage, I'm also going to put up, because first of all, it's so beautiful to look at. It is very nice. I have been consuming coffee, but I had never been involved in coffee cultivation. But when I went there, and I didn't go to look for coffee, I had gone for other things. What I saw, it now has inspired me to go and now cultivate coffee. So you can see the level to which the general inspires people.
You know, for me, I have never believed that poverty can be fought with guided missiles. It is sometimes you fire and forget. It's like an RPG. When you get the target very well, it will destroy the target. Like you saw all those testimonies where Mzee has been. You see somebody uses 1 million. In 2 years, he has built a different lifestyle completely. So we are very hopeful that the PDM, which has been my permanent dream, is now becoming a reality. I turned from an economics to humanomics. This is just a terminology that we have just created, because economics presumes scarcity, but humanomics presumes plenty that is not being shared. That is the difference, because in humanomics you are seeing a lot of wealth which can be shared by everybody. In economics, it is the might of the one who has capital who controls the rest. So that's the only difference. But now I'm a follower now. I'm no longer the Messiah. I'm just a disciple of Musevenomics, because we have now finally aligned with his thinking, and that's what I'm teaching these days. In February 1999, after I had failed to acquire Uganda Commercial Bank, I was very, very disappointed about the behavior of those people who didn't want me to acquire that bank, because I thought I was doing the right thing. But now I have been learning and teaching myself, and also learning the principles of Musevenomics. And privatization and liberalization are the major principles of Musevenomics. So when I got disappointed and I couldn't acquire that financial institution, I decided to go back to the bush. That is the bush I went to. And I thought that the bush would be as easy as that one of military. I didn't know that the financial wars financial and socio-economic wars are more complicated than military wars. So I wrote a declaration which I have shared with you, and all the contents are in that publication which I made in 1999. At that time, I didn't understand properly the principles of Musevenomics, privatization and liberalization, cost of doing business, the market integration. I didn't have a full understanding of those principles in economics. So, but I didn't fear to go. So I went and divested myself of all the entities that were hanging around me, and I started creating an outlook for myself of mainly 3 or 4 sectors: banking the underbanked, banking the unbanked or underbanked. Number 2, value addition to our strategic crops. And number 3 was industrial establishments. So that's what I have been pursuing now for the last 26 years.
General Salim Saleh has always described himself as a stayed in the bush. I don't know when he will ever come out. Because he says, I will be there until I make sure maybe the 10,000 acres are planted, the commercialization is done, everything is this and that. So really, that is where he stays there. And he's a bush. I have told you from the word go. The general stayed in his 2-roomed house. When they tell you that is when the General Salim Saleh stays, you bypass. He comes from his house, very simple, sits down with you, eats with you, and say, let's now ponder on the ideas. What do we do? So that is the bush with whom we have stayed, and he has been able to. We believe that one day, maybe when he sits down, because dealing with an African is not simple. I don't think that one day an African will stand up and say, General Salim Saleh, this is enough. For us, we are on our own. So we plead with the General Salim Saleh, please one day also come out of the bush like your friends and leave the Bazukuru to carry on the mentor. I have heard people talk about sacks of money. Personally, I have not seen one. I have been with him for a long period of time. I think the only sacks of money he will give you is to help you, maybe secure for you a tractor of so and so to go and cultivate. How do you get facilitated to make production for yourself? Like I said, when he started Operation Joseph and commanded Equator Seeds and said, I need seeds, what's this amount of money? People powered in, trucks and trucks rolled and everywhere. There was a beehive activity. The general didn't have a coin. So when Tony Okello, the MD of Equator, came and said, now, General, I am done with it. Remember, they hadn't signed. I think he expected to find a trailer, like other people think packed there. The general said, I am sorry to tell you, I don't have the money. By the grace of God, I'll get the money. So those of you who go to look for the money, I have not seen it. I would advise you, go carefully. There may not be money there. The general has a strong love for people. And when I talk about even he withstands those people who have abused him, you have seen many people have said words during the day by camera, on TV like this, on screen like this, they say many words, but before you know it, they go back to him and say, really help me with this, help me with the other. And he helps them. He really helps them with that passion. And he doesn't remind them that one day you said this and this. And I think that is a gift from God, because not so many of us, because for me, by training, I'm a fighter. So you really deal with me, I deal with you. Because in the military barracks where I grew up, you know, in the barracks we grew up with so many children from here. That's why we speak so many. The other one is a Langi, the other one is a Munyankole, the other one is it is a world of grabbing, and the winner takes it all. So for me, that is where we go. But now we say, let's not do that. That is what the general says. He said no. So in the music industry, you remember the general describes himself also as a musician. And he has his songs. I don't know, these days I don't know. He used to play them for us, and he said, oh, okay, personally, I would listen to them, but I'm not into music. I would say, but when somebody comes, like in a home and said, oh, please, I have nothing to give you, but take a glass of water, you drink that water. So the general would give us his production, but to me, what if I wanted to listen to Eminem? That kind of pomp. What if I am a man of 50 cents? What if So he is into production, but because of that, he has known. But also, by God's, your upbringing helps you to know the life people go through. The general family did not come from the upper end of the higher family. It came from the lower ground, including the general. You know how Yoweri Kaguta Museveni used to go, and wherever he would go looking for school fees. You remember that bull? When I don't know which school fees, and he wanted. And his father, Mzee Kaguta, said, now you take that bull and sell it on your way. Or you take it to the market, sell it, the money we shall get will be your school fees. And the man fought with one bull. There's a story, President Museveni, nobody talks about it. He carried the bull. Those are the people maybe you would bypass. Those of you who are in his age, you see a younger boy pulling a bull. But by good luck, he found a man, an old man, who was also looking for a bull. You see how luck is. He got the bull. I have seen President Museveni saying, up to now, I'm still looking for that man, the family, because he really served him. So you can see the background where they came from. It was not from the affluent family. So now, when you have come from there and some musicians come, the people who are in that industry are people from the ghettos down who have not been fortunate enough. So that is why he gets the zeal, the love to help them. He stays with them. He sings with them. But like I said again, they abuse his courtesy. That is where the problem comes from. When he gets money, I don't know whether it is his salary or what, and he gives to them, again, unfortunately, for them, they take it that General Salim Saleh has money. Now, that is the abuse that I think puts him down. Before you know it, he gives them money. This group is fighting the other. This one is fighting this, that. An attempt to bring them together, again, confuses, brings in more confusion. Now, that is where the general gets stuck. But deep in his heart, he's a musician, he's a producer, he's an artist. Maybe this year, General Saleh will out one of those hit songs that will be doing it either nightclub or the church, I don't know. We pray for him, but he is an artist. The president also had a song some time back, and he was playing his own song. You remember the remix of Mpenkoni, 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 the cows have come.
Well, I can even give you some rap myself now.
So really, maybe they come from a singing family. Who knows? Maybe one day we shall get a band. My special thanks definitely go. I would like to start with UBC, board and management, Hector and your team. It is not very simple to go deep in all those areas in Karamoja, deep to research and things like that. And really, you can see that it is not about money. It is the zeal. Those of you who don't know Hector and his team, he will look for you. He will make sure that you come. Today, this interview, he smoked me when I was on my way to Mbarara. So I had really to come specifically to do this. But that is the love and patriotism that the entire team, Hector and your team, UBC, Board of Management, thank you so much, because without your involvement, without the facilitation, will not be there. My special thanks, of course, go to General Salim Saleh, the indemnifier, who has been able to carry the cross for the entire farmer in Acholic sub-region. We want to thank OWC team, and with Operation Joseph, where I belong, it has really been very, very great for the great job you have done, because you are the field officer on the ground. And then, of course, we want to thank people that have been able to copy directly from the general's dream. We have people like Norbert Mao with his big farm in Tegot, and you see he has become a demonstration farm. For people at his category, we have a category. For us, we are here. There is a group which is here. The Mao was there, but they are farmers because of the dream. And also, our greatest thanks goes to the public, especially the farmers. You, the farmers who were able to put that seed in the ground, you were able to harvest, you were able to sell and replow it and get the money, and now you are using it for the right purpose. We say you are the people who will finally make the general come out of the bush. Thank you very much.